Ladies and gentlemen, today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the things you're going to want to avoid. Launch is just 6 days away. Is it 6 or 5 days away now, Brad?
Yeah, like 5.5 or so, or no. So it's going to be launching about exactly at the time that we're recording this.
In 5 days.
Yep, because it's Saturday. Yep.
So we have 2 tips for each day between now. We got about 10 rough tips plus whatever comes up while we're talking about things you're going to want to either avoid or make sure you do in Diablo Immortal on launch. Today I'm brought in part by Chosen from Chosen Diablo Immortal's channel. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. It's another great day to research Immortal and chat about it and prepare for launch.
So I've seen a lot of comments where people are either on one side of the fence or the other about being super excited or super like not into it. But I've noticed a few comments lately where people are like, thanks for being excited, for being positive and driving hype, because that's how I feel too. And it's just good to see some other people like that. So shout out to that comment in particular, because I read that and I just want to say thanks for that comment because it made me feel good, because I am actually excited, and it is really exciting to see other people that are legitimately looking forward to playing the game. They just want to play the game, and in that sort of attitude and perspective, we're going to talk about some of the things that hopefully will make the game more enjoyable for you when it comes out by either avoiding or making sure that you do them. So I'll tell you what, since the guest normally gets to go first, Brad, do you have one tip that you would tell, if you had to have one tip for someone starting Diablo Immortal, what's the first one you're going to give them today?
First tip I would be is take a little bit of time to research each class and make sure you pick what is most appealing to you. Don't let people scare you with meta analysis or anything like that, because your class is going to be a huge identity of your Diablo Immortal journey. So as long as you get that right and you're picking a class you're excited about having fun on, you'll be able to enjoy the game.
And just to piggyback on that statement real quick, classes are very, in particular, important too, because later on in the game, you're not going to want to have duplicate classes within your party if possible. So when you're planning out with your friends, we're all going to join on whatever server. And by the way, the server list is out. If you watch the previous video, I have that there for you. All you have to do is make sure you're on the same server and not picking the same class if you want to basically min-max your efforts. And one of the tips that I will say is make sure in this game, Diablo is a game all about numbers. It's about getting as strong as you can over time. If you play the PC version, you've known that. But a lot of the PC players might not put as much value into the daily activities. Now, me and Brad have both played a lot of mobile games, and I can tell you from the mobile game, either pay to win or daily rewards, whatever you want to call it type of aspect, dailies tend to be your best rewards. So they do have some mechanics in this game to kind of counter the dailies in case you miss a few days. Do you want to perhaps cover that for just a second, Brad?
Yep, so you're going to be able to, which I think is really cool, by the way, the daily rewards are going to stack for up to 3 days. So, you're off to see family or you're busy or whatever. You can stack it up for a day or two and then still get back at it on day 3 and kind of scoop up some of the previous rewards. That's a very rare thing that I've seen games do. Usually if you're gone for a day, you just miss out on everything. So I'm really glad they implemented something like that, because let's face it, we all have a real life too. And I think that's really cool that they're enabling people to have a real life and not feel like they're forced to log into the game every day.
Yep, and one of the other tips, just to keep it moving along here, is let's give you more of a technical tip, which is I think you should push to Hell 4 as soon as possible. And tell you what, Brad, do you want to cover that?
Yeah, the sets in this game are really, really strong. Almost all of them. I learned this doing a video on the set bonuses. They all seem really impactful. So you want to get to the point where you're getting those set drops as fast as possible, because it'll make your whole squad stronger. The sets seem really cool. A lot of them are very impactful.
And this is a new change. It used to be that Hell 2 was where you would get your sets and you would complete them there, and now it is up to Hell 4. So you're going to want to focus more on climbing up that difficulty ladder by basically going through, being the campaign, changing the difficulty higher, rinse and repeat. That's essentially the way these games type of go. Now, do you have a tip? Maybe I've been rambling a little bit myself and just making you fill in. What's your next tip here?
I think a really good one that people make sure they do is when you log in under the settings, there's an option for like auto pickup and auto loot. You want to make sure you have that on. You don't want to be having to manually run around and slow down your grind to grab everything, especially during the leveling process. Now, maybe down the road, end game, you might want to turn that off. We'll have to see how the meta goes in terms of inventory management later on. But for sure, 1 to 60, you want to have that on. You want to constantly be checking your inventory and see what you've auto looted. and look for those green arrows to constantly make your character better as you're kind of leveling.
So let's talk settings for a moment, since this is a setting tip in particular. Let's talk the most important setting. No matter if you are on mobile device or on PC, by the way, you can download the PC client now. It is fully downloadable on Battle.net for the PC release. You can't play it until 10 a.m. PDT on June 2nd, which is in 5 days, like we were saying. However, it is preloadable. Let's talk about settings. So, one of the settings, make sure you're using Battle.net. Your progression will not sync. I'll say that again, will not sync unless you are using Battle.net. It is the only way to sync. So log in on your phone with Battle.net, log in with your PC with Battle.net, and that will allow cross progression where you can go from playing on the PC, go to take a dump, bring your phone with you and play on the same character, and the same progress. Okay, so that's one tip for you. Let's also talk ergonomics and open up the conversation to Brad here. Do you have any ergonomic type of tips? Because this is a mobile game. I've played a lot of mobile games. Genshin Impact comes into mind for a mobile game I grinded for a while. Even Call of Duty Mobile, I play a lot off camera, a little known tip, and I get hand cramps. So do you have any suggestions for this?
Yeah, I think if you're going to be, a rock star tier player that's going to be grinding, 25, 30, 40 hours a week, you probably want to have some sort of option to make holding your phone or your device a little bit easier. They have expensive options like the Razer Kishi that is like $50 to $100 depending on what device you have and where you buy it. And then they also have cheaper options that are just like basically paddles that go on your phone that you can get for like $10, but they don't actually like plug into anything digitally. So yeah, you want to do that. If you're gonna be playing on the PC, you want to make sure you've got your desk height proper. You've got a good distance between you and the monitor. Make sure your arms are straight from the chair to the mouse and all that. So if you're gonna be grinding, I've been doing it for 15 years, and getting that stuff right can really save you a lot of pain if you start playing a bunch of hours a day.
So what's funny is I know this sounds like a boomer topic, and a lot of hardcore gamers are going to be kind of rolling their eyes at this topic. But look, I played League for thousands and thousands of hours at a decently high level. At one point, I got paid to play it. And I blew out this part of my arm. So I don't know if any gamers are out there. Left part of my forearm right here. I play piano. I have my synth right here. I got my guitars behind me. This burns after about 20 minutes of doing this with any finger. It's just moving the fingers. So it's not a joke. It does actually ruin your gaming experience. Like for me, if I play League of Legends again, or any of the first-person shooters, anything that's going to require WASD movement or QWER skill placement, it's like an actual annoyance to the point that it can ruin the gaming day for me, depending upon how much of a snowflake I'm being that day. So that is... It's just a real tip. Maybe use a controller. I know Echo Hack was one of the top players in beta and highly recommends using a controller playing. That's what he used himself. That would probably help out a lot of that also, just to back up that point. Now, we've talked a little bit here about building parties with not having duplicate classes. So let's talk about the social dynamic of the game a little bit. When it comes to clans, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, when it comes to clans, get a warband that is the same time zone as you. Get a warband that has at least one of each class, and then with your 2 flex spots, you can kind of do whatever. Grab a melee and grab a ranged. But yeah, it's going to be really important because you're able to kind of help each other out and play consistently within that warband and take advantage of some of the features in the game. The raids, the dungeons, kill things faster, stack massacre bonuses. So maybe take the time. There's lots of great Discord communities out there. Maybe it's worth spending an hour to get acclimated into one of those and kind of meet up with some people that you can enjoy the game with as part of a well-oiled warband.
It's a good time, it feels like, to plug the Aftershock United Discord. Join Aftershock United. We have over 1,000 members at this point, built within about a week, about that many people. We've got clans, we've got resource information. I think we can announce a website coming at this point. We can say that much. We've got a lot of actual technical resources for people that are already familiar with Diablo, maybe even more experts in Diablo than us, except Brad. Brad, I mean, this is a small known fact, but Brad, you were one of the top Diablo players for Diablo 3, correct?
I co-created what eventually became the #1 hardcore clan. It was called NCG. Early in the days of Diablo 3, I was the #2 witch doctor, and I reached out to the #1 witch doctor, and we got to talking and became friends. And we decided to make a clan, and that was NCG. And then We won seasonal hardcore, all 19 seasons or so, until eventually I quit for making my channel on Raid, and said maybe I'd be back someday. And here we are, about exactly 3 years later. So hoping to get in and go hard in the paint on Diablo again.
Maybe this is a little unrelevant, but I feel like the Diablo community might be a little new to us as compared to some of the other communities. Me and Brad have known each other, how many years now? 3 or 4 years, I think it's been.
Yeah, about exactly 3 years or so. Yeah.
And we come from the Raid community, which the Raid community, if nothing else, is at a minimum cooperative and friendly when it comes to the content creators. And I want to do a shout out to the other content creators too, in particular Echo Hack, and some of the other ones. I think Greg2G seems to be fairly friendly. I just had a tweeted at him and he responded and all that. But it seems like the Diablo community, from what I hear, is supposed to be some of the more friendly group of people. And I'm really looking forward to that as well, because coming from the Raid community, I know this is more of a selfish perspective. It's not relevant to the new players. And we'll go back to the topic in just a second. But I want to say, coming from Raid and doing collabs with like my friend Brad here, it's highly important to me to have a group of like friends to make videos with, because it makes the content more than just we're all making the same guide and you find the person you click with the best to make the same guide. It helps mix up the content and kind of be more entertaining at a minimum. So I'm planning to have on this channel, I think I can say now, at a minimum, me and Kyra are racing the max level, but we're going to be having Diablo trivia and some other kind of more entertaining type of bet-related type of content with me and Brad and the other creators that I'm going to be planning out here over the launch to come. So just leaking that out there. Now, let's go to one other point here, which is overspending, overplaying, and burning yourself out. That's something I've written down here. Now, we've played a lot of different games together over the time. Do you have any points to this?
It's something I've got a little bit of experience doing with the Diablo 3 seasons, and with us trying to win every season, we would just go absolutely ridiculous. Every 3 or 4 months when there's a new season, it was kind of the same vibe as to what we're experiencing this week, where you have the launch of everybody kind of starting from scratch. So I've got a little bit of experience doing that, and yeah, we would have some people in the clan that would just go absolutely ridiculous, like play 28 straight hours after launch. But then what I would see sometimes is they would just crash and they would just not even want to play for like 2 days. They feel like crap. They're getting sick. And then you'd have people like me. Typically, I would just do like 12 hours and then get some sleep and then do like another 10 hours and try to space it out a little bit. But some people can do it. Like, I know you're a pretty good grinder. You can usually do it without burning out, but I don't think I can quite do it to your degree. I need a little bit more break. I don't know about like the 30-hour grind.
We'll have to see how long it's going to be. We are going to be doing a launch live stream. We'll be doing it on this YouTube channel, so subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see that. I'm sure Chosen as well is going to be doing his own live stream. I'll have his stuff in the pinned comments so you can watch who you're interested in watching. And I'm looking through the list here to see if, there's a couple other important tips that we haven't really gotten to quite yet on this list, which has to actually do with in-game items. Now, one of the things we have written here is make sure that you get your essence transfers in. So would you like to explain essence transfer?
Yeah, so you're not going to want to salvage a legendary until you have extracted the effect of it. You don't want to miss out on acquiring that essence. So make sure before you're sacrificing a legendary that you've never extracted, that you do that beforehand, so you don't have to find it again and then do it after you learn that.
So sort of in the same vein, I was thinking that you want to be careful with your legendary gems. So legendary gems are few and far between. We know there's a variety in the ranks in which they drop, etc., and it will be the RNG. And the real grind is what it seems like will be legendary gems. So because of that, knowing that you need duplicates of legendary gems, let's see, I think I have a screenshot here of it. You see, here's all the legendary gems. You're going to need duplicates, and you can see duplicates here of each one, of legendary gems in order to rank them up. Keep that in mind when it comes to using gems as fodder to level other gems. Make sure that you keep duplicates of the gems you want, because you're going to need them, and don't just be crunching gems for powder like the first thing. You probably want to sit on these for a while, which kind of is sort of the same thing as make sure you're careful with your legendaries, with your essence transfer, aka in mobile games, hoarding is sort of a thing. So in PC games, min-maxing is more of a thing, especially RPGs, especially when you're pushing.
Do you know who you're talking to right now?
Yeah, exactly. We're talking to the number one hoarder. I was going to throw the mic over to you in just a moment here, but in mobile games, I can attest, because I've played basically all of them, that hoarding typically is the best resource you can do in the game. Do you want to explain a little bit of why in terms of the economy of mobile games?
Yeah. So what you don't want to happen is to end up in a situation where you're like, oh, why did I do that? And now you got to like feel pressured to spend money or do something you don't want to do to kind of get back to what you had before. Like I've done account takeovers on mobile games where they crunched a certain champion for a short-term gain, and then they want to build. I want to build a team for them. And I'm like, where'd the champion go? Like, oh, I crunched it. Like you don't want to end up in a situation like that. So make sure you're being diligent about managing your account, especially here for the first few weeks while you're learning.
100%. Do you have any last tips that are in your mind that maybe we didn't cover so far?
I think we got most of it. I would say, maybe highly recommend the battle pass. It is going to be cheap, and I understand some people want to be free to play. Maybe find a way to save up, or we do giveaways all the time in our Discord community, and we're going to try to help people have access to the battle pass if they're free to play. So you're welcome to participate in some of our giveaways. We're doing over $1,000 the launch month of June in giveaways. So I would highly recommend the battle pass if you're able to save up or put yourself in a position to do so. But other than that, that'll probably be by far the best money you can spend in the game.
That's true. I think we can actually officially announce now we're giving away a $600 Lilith statue, sponsored by Darren Sell from the Discord. And so just join the Discord. I have again, it'll be all the links will be down there. You can scroll down, click on them if you want. And we're giving away a giant Diablo statue of Lilith from Diablo. So kind of cool. And we have other
cool.
we have other giveaways and stuff. We have poker tournaments. We have all kinds of crazy events going on leading into launch week. And so see us on June 2nd for live streams, as well as subscribe to this channel, Brad's channel, for more similar content. I mean, really, what we do is typically what you watch in this video. So if you enjoyed this, there's more of that. And any last comments? We're going to head on out the door here and tell the people to have a great day.
Yep, same sentiment for me. I'm excited to see everybody in game, and hopefully everything goes great, and we'll be rocking launching here in 5 days.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for me and Brad. We love you all. We hope you have a good time in Diablo Immortal. Spam click out of these screenshots, and goodbye, everybody.